All right, let's jump right in. I want you to consider something that honestly might change how you think about getting to the absolute top of your game. What if peak performance isn't just about, raw human talent or even having the fanciest new tech? What if it's actually about blending the best of our own human ingenuity with the sheer computational power of artificial intelligence?
It does sound a bit like science fiction, doesn't it?
It really does. But it's not. It's actually a proven thing, and it even has a name, Centaur chess.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is to really explore this idea, this Centaur concept. It came out of chess, obviously, but it offers this incredibly potent model for how humans and AI can collaborate.
Right.
And crucially, what does this mean for you? For how you work, whatever your field is, how you tackle really complex stuff. We're going to unpack where it came from, which is fascinating in itself, look at some results that, frankly, turned heads, and then think about the bigger picture beyond just the chessboard.
Yeah, and it's amazing how often these huge shifts start from what looks like a setback. I mean, many people will remember Garry Kasparov, world chess champion, losing to IBM's Deep Blue back in
Oh,
'97.
yeah. Huge moment.
Huge. It felt like this watershed machines finally beating humans at, one of our games. But Kasparov, well, he didn't just see it as a loss. He actually envisioned something completely new. Not the end, but a new beginning for humans with machines.
That's the crucial part, isn't it? He didn't just pack it in. Just a year later, 1998, he comes up with this concept he called advanced chess.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea wasn't human versus computer anymore. It was human and computer working together as a team.
Exactly. And the very first event to showcase this was in Lyon, Spain. Kasparov himself actually teamed up with a computer.
Right, playing against another grandmaster, Topalov, who also had computer help.
And the result, well, it was a 3-3 draw. But the really striking thing, the thing that jumped out, was the quality of the chess. It was just demonstrably significantly higher than what either of those top grandmasters could produce on their own. Kasparov saw it immediately, this mix of human intuition, that strategic sense, combined with the AI's brute calculation. It created something he called a superior chess entity.
The Centaur.
The Centaur, yeah. Drawing on that myth, the half-human, half-horse, embodying the strengths of both. It's a really powerful metaphor for what this kind of collaboration can be.
Okay, so we have the vision, the theory, maybe the first proof of concept in Lyon.
Yeah.
What about the moment that really, shook things up? That came a bit later, right?
Yeah.
And this is where the story gets super interesting.
It does. Fast forward to 2005, there was this tournament called the Freestyle Tournament, or PEL CSS Freestyle. And what made it unique was that it allowed any combination of humans and computers. Anything goes.
No restrictions. So grandmasters with basic laptops, amateurs with supercomputers.
Exactly. And the setup led to this completely unexpected breakthrough. It came from a team called the Zax team.
Okay, Zach's team. Were they big names?
Yeah.
Grandmasters.
Not at all. That's the kicker. They were amateur players, moderate ratings, decent club players maybe, but they had this one specific exceptional skill.
Which was?
They were incredibly good at using multiple chess engines at the same time. They knew how to sort of orchestrate them, figure out which engine's advice was best for a given situation, and weave it all together.
Wow, okay. So it wasn't just about having an engine, but knowing how to manage multiple opinions from different AIs.
Precisely. And their victory wasn't just surprising, it was, well, shocking. They didn't just compete. They beat teams led by world-class grandmasters. They beat teams using the single most powerful engines available at the time.
Get out of here. Really? Amateurs beat grandmasters and the top standalone AIs?
Yep. It was the definitive proof. Concrete evidence that effective collaboration between human and AI could outperform the best human expert and the most powerful AI working alone.
That's huge. It completely changes the equation. It's not about human or AI anymore.
Exactly. It showed that raw expertise, whether human or machine, wasn't the whole story. The real advantage came from the skill of combining them.
And that's the lesson for you listening, right?
Mm-hmm.
In your own work, just having the smartest person or the best software might not be enough. You need to master how to integrate them. That synthesis, that's where the edge is.
So that begs the question, how does the synergy actually work? What's each side bringing to the table that makes the Centaur team so effective?
Yeah, let's dig into that. So the human part. What do we bring? Well, strategic intuition, right?
Right.
Seeing the big picture, long-term plans, creativity.
Things that are hard to quantify.
Exactly. Pattern recognition that's maybe more holistic than just data points. And critically, psychological understanding. We could read an opponent, sense pressure, maybe even bluff things an AI just doesn't get. It's that qualitative nuanced understanding.
And the AI side, it perfectly complements that. Its tactical calculation is just superhuman. It spots blunders instantly because it checks millions, even billions of possibilities, lines no human would ever dream of.
Right. It does the heavy lifting on the calculation side.
Exhaustive analysis, deeper and wider than we can manage, and crucially, objective evaluation. No ego, no fear, no wishful thinking, just the cold, hard probabilities. It tells you what the numbers say, unbiased.
So the collaborative advantage comes when you put those together. The human says, okay, strategically, I think we should aim for this kind of position, maybe something complex long-term, and the AI then checks it. Okay, if you go down that path, here are the tactical pitfalls, here are the best replies, here are the odds. It verifies the human's intuition, or sometimes corrects it.
Leading to play that's almost blunder-free but still highly creative and strategically deep. It's like having a visionary architect who also has a supercomputer checking the structural integrity of every single beam in real time.
That's a great analogy. And how does it work practically, like in the game?
Well, typically the human player has access to one or more chess engines during the game. They can input moves, explore variations, asking the AI, what if I go here? What happens then?
So they're consulting the AI.
Exactly. The engine provides evaluations, suggests moves, shows potential counter moves, but, and this is really important, the human makes the final decision.
Okay. So the AI advises, it doesn't dictate.
Correct. It's a powerful consultant, a guide, which is why these Centaur games often have longer time controls to allow for that deep thinking, that synthesis between the human's ideas and the AI's analysis.
It sounds like the perfect partnership, but still humans involved. I imagine there must be challenges, like maybe the human ego gets in the way. Do they always trust the AI?
Oh, absolutely. You've hit on a really key point. There's what you might call the overconfidence trap.
Okay.
Even top players struggled with this initially. Take Hikaru Nakamura, a world-class grandmaster. In some early freestyle events, he, like many brilliant human minds, often distrusted the AI's suggestions.
He thought he knew better.
Pretty much. He'd override the engine's recommendations with his own moves that, despite his genius, sometimes turn out to be objectively worse. And he actually lost games because of it, sometimes to players who weren't as strong individually, but who were better at listening to their AI partner.
Wow. So even a top GM had to learn humility in the phase of the machine.
It was a humbling process, yes. It really highlights that this kind of collaboration requires more than just expertise. It requires humility, adaptability, learning when to trust the AI, and when your own judgment might see something the AI is missing.
That's a powerful lesson, really, for anyone working with complex tools or data. It's not about giving up your skills. It's about augmenting them, knowing when to lead and when to follow the data. It requires a different kind of self-awareness.
And the really exciting part is that this Centaur concept, this model, it's not just stuck on the chessboard. We're seeing it validated in all sorts of other fields now.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for everyone listening, regardless of whether you play chess. Like, well, where else is this working?
Well, take healthcare. There's research out of places like Harvard and the Mayo Clinic showing that radiologists using AI support systems are more accurate at diagnosing conditions than either the radiologist working alone or the AI working alone.
So the AI flags things, maybe subtle patterns in scans.
Exactly. Things a human might miss after looking at hundreds of images. And then the experienced human radiologist provides the context, the judgment, they confirm it, or maybe they see why the AI flagged it, but know it's benign in this patient's specific case. It's that combination again.
Machine pattern spotting plus human experience and context. Makes sense.
What else?
Cybersecurity is another big one. Defense Department studies show pretty consistently that human analysts teamed up with AI detection systems are much better at finding threats and vulnerabilities than automated systems alone or human teams alone.
That's at work. The AI can monitor vast amounts of network data, speeds and scales humans just can't handle, flagging anomalies. But then the human analyst steps in to figure out the intent. Is this a real attack? What's the likely goal? How should we respond strategically? It combines the AI's speed with human judgment.
Speed and scale meet nuance and strategy.
Okay. And even in something like complex policy analysis, research indicates that making really big, intricate policy decisions gets better when human experts use AI tools for data analysis and modeling.
So the AI crunches the numbers, Maybe simulates economic impacts or social effects.
Right, runs scenarios on huge data sets. But the human policymaker is still essential for the ethical considerations, the societal values, the political realities of actually implementing a policy. The AI provides the data-driven insights. The human provides the wisdom and context.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How many areas have we treated as either human or machine, when maybe both hand was the better approach all along?
Across the board, the pattern is pretty clear now. This Centaur approach, this human-AI team-up, it consistently delivers better results than just humans or just AI. It's moving from a cool chess idea to a really practical model for getting things done better.
But it can't be perfectly smooth sailing, right? There must be practical hurdles to making this work well in the real world.
Oh, definitely. It's not always easy. One of the biggest challenges is something we could call trust calibration.
Trust calibration, meaning
Finding that right balance. How much do you trust your gut, your human intuition, versus how much do you trust the AI's recommendation, especially when they conflict? It takes practice, self-awareness, maybe even making a few mistakes to learn where that balance lies for a specific task.
yeah, I can see that being tricky. You don't want to blindly follow the machine, but you also don't want to ignore powerful insights out of stubbornness.
Exactly. And that leads straight into the need for new skill development. Being an effective centaur isn't just about being good at your job and knowing how to use software. It's a whole new expertise.
What kind of expertise?
It's learning when to just accept the AI's suggestion, when to push back and ask why it's recommending something, to understand its reasoning, and critically, when you should confidently override it because you, the human, have some crucial context or insight the AI lacks. It's like a dance, really.
A dynamic dance.
Yeah.
Mastering that becomes a new kind of competitive advantage, I guess.
It absolutely does. And then, of course, as AI gets more integrated, we bump into ethical questions, too.
Like what?
Well, fairness, transparency. If a decision is made by a human AI team, who's accountable? How do we ensure the process is fair? How do we even define competence when part of your competence is how well you collaborate with an AI? These are big questions we need to grapple with.
So it's clear this Centaur model isn't just plug and play. It requires developing new skills, new ways of thinking, maybe even new organizational structures to support this kind of collaboration.
Definitely. It's a partnership that needs ongoing learning and adaptation from the humans and, in a sense, from how we design and use the AI systems themselves.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap this up. If we pull everything together, what's the big takeaway from Centaur chess?
The big takeaway is pretty unambiguous, I think. Centaur chess showed, definitively, that humans and AI working together achieve measurably better results, higher performance, than either can alone. That's the core of the Centaur advantage.
Right, it's about hitting that peak performance level, but it feels like more than just result. It's about enhancing us.
Yes, enhancing human capabilities, amplifying what we can do. And that potential is genuinely transformative, way beyond chess. We talked about medicine, security, policy. You could add science, art, engineering, countless fields.
So the future isn't necessarily Skynet or humans hiding from the machines.
Not necessarily, no. The future likely belongs to those who master this collaboration, those who can skillfully blend that irreplaceable human insight, our creativity, our strategic depth with the precision, the calculation, the analytical power of machines. It's not about being replaced, it's about being amplified.
Amplified, I like that. So here's a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. How could this Centaur way of thinking apply in your world? In your job, sure, but maybe even in your hobbies, or just how you solve everyday problems. What new skills might you need to start building now to become a more effective Centaur in your own life? It's not just about using the tools. It's about evolving into this new kind of expert, a hybrid master of both human intuition and machine logic. Something to think about.